Hi everyone, and welcome to your sports physiotherapy course module. I am Lounis Brennemann, physiotherapist and strength and conditioning coach. We are happy to share with you behind the scenes during the competitive season of the FC Yachts with Bastian Haber, the club's head physiotherapist, where injury prevention and performance management are at their peak. Let's put this session into context. This is the training happening one day before the game. So next day, very important because it is a competition game. And as you know, the goal is always to win the game. The topics of today are injury management. You don't want anybody to be injured before the game. And performance enhancement. You want everybody to be able to perform tomorrow. So you will have to manage fatigue. So the management of the load of training will be a very important component. The load of training will be reduced both physically and cognitively. It is not today that you try to teach new exercises to the players. It is not today that you try to get them in shape. They are supposed to be in shape. Tomorrow is supposed to be the expression of the long weeks of training before. So there shouldn't be any pressure today. It's too late to create a long-lasting adaptation. Enhance the neural drive. We are going to talk about it a little bit later during that training session. Today also can be a session where you individualize. Today the strikers and the rest of the team are not separated. The preparation is common for everybody. But if you have a player that is just coming back from injury and that is ready to play, you still want to make sure that he has some specific preparation, you can do it today also. It's important to also understand that after this part with the physiotherapist, that is meant to warm up the players and get them ready nervously for the game, there will be after that the football part with the football coach. And it's important that the football coach is also in the same line as the physio to get the players ready. So typically the content of the football instructed by the coach will be about some thorough drills, these passing games in a short space. There will be of course train standard situations that are high intensity but without much volume, typically corners, free kicks. That's something that allows some breaks, and that can be very specific to the situations the coach wants to work on the game the next day. During that time, the physio might continue with the injured players that do not participate the team training for about 15-30 minutes, depending the situation. The players during the football part are going to play in very small space. There is no way before the games they start to use the whole field for the training. That would be way too much, way too loading. And they will play for limited time also. The physio also doesn't stop here its responsibilities. During the football sessions he will stay, he will also observe, assess the movement, especially for the players that are going to start the next day. That is not like 100% announced to the players, though of course most of them know more or less if they are part of the regular starting 11, but anything can change of course, and it's important to keep the competitive spirit high and make the benchers motivated to push their performance level, to keep pushing also the starting 11. And the discussion will be also very important between the physio and the coach about the subjective evaluation and observations. Now, as you can see, the warm-up is starting pretty traditionally. Some small running, crossing the legs, getting through the ranges, all in movement. Try to raise that local temperature in the muscles and the central temperature, because it's anyway a cardiovascular activity. It makes sense to raise also the central temperature. Again, the point today is to keep the session short. The instructions from Bastian will be short as well, because they will not discover anything new. There will be, in that part, no ball, no explanation time, no transition time. Now he's doing all the exercises in a line, and next he will choose a standing position and continue some exercises with the minimum transition time possible. So now the point of all those exercises is to go through all the planes of movements from all the main joints involved in football: ankle, knee, hip. But you will see later that there will be also some activation and mobilization of the core and upper limb. Today the weather conditions are fantastic, so it allows more freedom, more range of possibility of exercises, also using the floor. So now, as you can see, limit the transition. He keeps now all the players in line for a set of exercises. You had previously a longer part where the players were traveling back and forth. Now as they stay in position, this decision making is meant also to prepare for the next part, where he wants them to be nervously ready to start to fire up and put intention into their exercises. As you can see, the load management is very simple. Each of the exercises will have one set per side, no more. It's more important to have a complete activation than try to get a deep stimuli in a certain area, because we are not anymore, as I said, hoping for any now long-term adaptation. Now starts the sprinting. As you can see, change of direction, very short distance. It's not the point now to require too long rest. We want to keep it short. And again, not to add fatigue or restrict the energy supply for tomorrow. So for football, it does make sense to activate the lower limb to recruit more motor units. That's the point of all those openers. It's necessary to improve the intramuscular coordination, so within the quadriceps, for example, to make sure that the motor units are contracted after each other in a coordinated manner for more efficiency. You want also this motor unit to be recruited in a faster rate, but as you can see, there are also exercises done for the upper limb. Of course, the upper limb will be used in football, but also it will allow to reduce the amount of work, amount of impact in the lower limb to keep it fresh, because there is also a central adaptation. When you are firing up your nervous system, you also want some intermuscular coordination. You want the muscles to work together after each other in a coordinated manner. You want your movement to have an overall more effectiveness with less conscious effort. And here, activating like they do the core will also benefit to the lower limb, for example. And again, the load is kept low. Few reps, very intense. You cannot hear it now, but Bastian is actually giving an auditive signal for them to perform their reps. That will allow two things. That will allow first the load management to make sure that everybody performs the same amount of reps, which is not necessarily the case in regular pre-season training. And the other thing is that it will improve the reaction time. That is also something that is important to have before the game. And back to the lower limb. You have probably observed that he didn't do all the lower limb exercises in a row, that he went to perpetually switch lower, upper, midsection, back to lower to ensure local recovery while the nervous system keep on being activated. And the specific first step quickness and a very short acceleration. First step quickness and very short acceleration. Notice how the deceleration is kept smooth in purpose, because hard deceleration, hard eccentric is very loading for both the nervous system and the musculoskeletal system. So remember, at this stage of the training of your players, you are not anymore expecting to train them. They are trained. You want them to be now healthy and be able to express their physical development for the game. Here you go. Very short session, very effective. They are warmed up, they are fired up, and now they can go on for the technical football part. Again, respecting the fundamentals of intensity and low volume. Thanks everybody. We hope to give you some ideas and creativity. Please discuss with your classmates what you would have done differently. Bye bye.